Hey guys, Matt Science here, and happy Halloween, because today is October 31st, and rather than going trick-or-treating, I have my own tradition, where I try and get through 13 horror movies before Halloween, which is a bit silly, yes, but another thing I started doing recently is sort of coming up with mini theories on those 13 movies, or at least as many as I can, based on the story told. So first, I'm going to tell you the names of the movies the 13 horror movies that I watched. We got Blair Witch, Creep, Carrie, The Fourth Kind, The ABCs of Death, Drag Me to Hell, Dead Silence, Frozen. Wait, you thinking that one? No, it's that one. Needle, Chain Letter, The Girl in the Photographs, The Strangers, and Incarnate. All really, some of them were actually really good movies. Some of them were like a flop. So of those movies, though, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. I was able to come up with some sort of question about the movie that is like a good possible theory for each of the movies. So first up, Blair Witch. And no, I'm not talking about the Blair Witch Project. I'm talking about the 2016 movie Blair Witch, where at the start of the movie they play a YouTube video for the audience and their little group to see, and obviously that scene is not from the movie The Blair Witch Project. But my question is, did it inspire itself and create a time loop? And my evidence for that is towards the end of the movie, there is one scene where it actually you actually see it sort of match up with the YouTube video. Like, I don't have like footage or anything like that. These are just like theories, as in like it's a question that's just been asked. But if I was to play the YouTube video and the scene that I'm talking about from the movie side by side, I'm pretty sure they would almost be similar. So I'm pretty sure what happened is, there's probably some differences, something like that, but based on that evidence, I believe that the Blair Witch actually created a time loop and inspired itself in the process, basically meaning that the movie never ends, basically. Because you can watch it back from the start and you'd be like, this is a continuation of the same timeline, even if it's a repeat of a previous timeline, because of the time loop. So, and what I mean by time loop is that when you finish the movie, that clip ends up on YouTube and they see it there, and then they go to the forest, and then they potentially end up time traveling back to that period, and that YouTube video gets uploaded at that time as well. Well, not exactly at that time, but whenever it's found. Okay, moving on to the second movie, The Creep. So this one was, who is the Rat Man? Because there's one character, like the main bad guy. He has rats that are attracted to him, but there's a lot of things there that's confusing. No, his last name is Crane because there's a bracelet he has a medical thing on that says Crane as his last name, but he shows some doctorial behavior, and he's also born deformed, like some of the. He's born deformed, and he keeps babies like himself that didn't make it to real life. So, who is this guy? We know his last name is Crane. He was taken care of by a doctor, but based on one scene where I do not want to explain it, it's gruesome AF. But let's just say it involves a lady and leave it at that. But during that scene, he actually does the habit of like pretending to put gloves on and like all the stuff that doctors put on, even the face mask. But how would he know to do? Like, is that from the amount of time that he has spent being experimented on, stuff like that? Anyway, that's it. Okay, third movie, Carrie. The big question is obviously the ending. Like, is Carrie actually dead, or by what they did to her gravestone, is her power still alive, or is Carrie immortal of all things? It leaves it super vague for everyone to guess about, and I don't think there is any sequel to it. Nah. But yeah, that's like the obvious theory, and there's not really much else to theorize about there. Okay, so let's move on to the fourth one, the fourth kind. Quite ironically, the fourth kind is all about. It's supposed to be about alien abductions and stuff like that, and the Owlman. I'm like, when I saw it, I'm like, really? It's just a documentary. What is it doing in the horror section? Like, it's not like Paranormal Activity levels of good. Like, it's worse than Paranormal Activity. And Paranormal Activity is basically the same thing each time. But basically, the whole question is, do you believe the story that's being told? Like, I wouldn't disagree with the story. I just don't follow conspiracy theories. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories whenever I do theories. So let's just leave that one alone. Moving on to the fifth one, where I actually skipped two of the movies here because they have no theory whatsoever. To Dead Silence, with the question of, is Ella the perfect doll? Again, I should have probably said spoilers, because this one is all about the ending of Dead Silence and like what actually happened. So it's like, because Ella has the spirit of Mary Shaw in it, and Mary Shaw was a like ventriloquist, and she had like 100 dolls. That's a lot of freaking dolls. But if you haven't seen it, stop watching this video and go and watch it before you come back to this one, because it is a very interesting question of like, is Ella the perfect doll? Is she actually Mary Shaw? And like the whole time, because like the ending is like probably it's not a bad reveal. and it's like it actually shows how Ella did what she did in the movie, and like seriously, Ella was like the best ventriloquist ever. That's why she. That's why she might be the perfect doll. She might be Mary Shaw, reborn as Ella, and she probably has an eternal life because of it. But it's just how is that how only question I have left is how's that possible? Because I'm pretty certain that Ella is the perfect doll. Like there's no doubt about it. Even in the book, it's like to make the perfect doll, and it has a picture of Ella on the opposite side of that bit of paper. So I'm 75% convinced that Ella is Mary Shaw and is the perfect doll. But I don't have footage to show you of that scene. I don't have anything to actually confirm it, and I'm not really trying to confirm my theories today. Anyway, let's move on to the next one where we skip Frozen, which is not that Disney one. That's unless it's the other part that's horrifying about it is the fact that lots of people watch it. just it's just like everyone watches them. Like Moana is a better movie, in my opinion. Anyway, let's forget about that. Let's just move on to Needle, where my question is about it. Why would the power be knocked out before a person is killed? Like in Needle, it's basically death by needles a lot, but it's like voodoo doll needle stab. And the needle's actually heated up at the end, so it's a burning stab. Like seriously, that. There's even one scene where the guy gets dismantled by the voodoo doll being just broken. But yeah, so my question is why would the power be knocked out before a person was killed? Just it seems ridiculous. Like, is it the box that makes the voodoo dolls actually have the power to knock out the power? No pun intended there. But honestly, I don't see a relation between the box and the lights in the air in the vicinity of a person. So it's obviously related somehow though, but I just don't know. Although there is like one scene where the power is knocked out, so it might not even be related to power. Anyway, let's just move on to the next one. There's not much I can theorize there. Again, I don't have clips. Chain letter. Now, this one I sort of went into detail with. But the end question is, it's like, in the movie, towards the end, they figure out there's an actual cult against technology, and they use technology against people. And all the movies, since this movie is called Chain Letter, all the kills relate to chains or links. However, pictures shown on a website, there are pictures on a website that show deaths by decapitation, multiple gunshots, and a lot more. Barbed wire, even. So So my question is, does every country use the same method for choosing their victims, or different methods? Because like, if you if you really want to keep a thematic theme, you would do like chain kills if you're just going for chain letters. But if you're going, let's say, for like a deal, like you're the 1,000th winner of an iPad, like you're the 1,millionth visitor to this website, you win a free iPad type of stuff, and it's just like, and then you would do a kill related to that, probably with an iPad. That'd be an interesting kill to see, actually. But yeah, so that is it. That's all I had to question about chain letter. Now, next one, the girl in the photographs. Why would the killers be taking photos of the crimes they have committed? So, whenever for some reason, whenever I do something to do with killers, I seem to be a little bit drawn to the psyche of the killers, or like if you remember, I did a theory on Split. It wasn't probably not. It's not my most favorite theory. It's probably been seen many times because many people have covered that theory. But it was about question of what was her name? I forget her name. Like does the secondary character have PTSD because of so and so? But this one, this one I did not understand at all. It was, yeah, the killers take photos of the crimes they have committed, and they targeting one particular person. They're targeting the main character of Colleen. Why is she the person of interest for the killers? The only relation to her in any way is that she's a cashier, and cashiers know everyone in those small towns. Like, what's the psyche behind the actions? So, there isn't really one. I feel like most of the people that, pretty much all the people that were killed were people that she knew. And, like, and at the end of the movie, all the people that were killed are seated at the lounge with her seated in the middle, being the last one alive. So, is she actually killed? Or these killers just want to have a really screwed up photo sesh with her, and they don't know how to ask her properly. Seriously. Is this just like a photo collage? Like, why? I don't think I'll ever understand why, because I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. Maybe if I'm able to get in contact with a psychologist to try and talk about this sort of thing, it's just like, Anyway, let's move on to the next one. The Strangers. I didn't know there was actually a prequel sequel to this one. I sort of found out after I watched the movie. So, because my sort of number one rule is try and avoid a big series of movies, like Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy, Chucky, all those characters. So, but with The Strangers, there's only 2 movies, so it sort of clears the bar for me. Anyway, so the question is, why were James and Kristen the targets? They don't know Tamara that Dollface asked about. However, I feel like based on the context clues of the 2 close-up shots of Kristen, one of which when James checks the light switch to see if the light was on, and the second one being at the end of the conversation. So, if it was just one close-up, I feel like there'd be nothing there. There's no actual it's just like a close-up shot to be like Kristen, Dollface, Kristen, Dollface, and that is it. However, it does 2 close-ups, and it does one without where you can't see James in the frame, and then the second one you can actually see James in the frame. So with that in mind, I feel like my possible theory on it is, what if Kristen's real name is Tamara? Or she changed the name from Tamara to Kristen to try and hide from these strangers. And then they show up and they recognize her because she didn't change her appearance. You gotta change your appearance if you want to hide. But yeah, that's just what I feel like might be the underlying story. That Tamara is Kristen, or her name changed to Kristen to try and hide from Dollface, Pinup Girl, and Baghead, I think it was, or whatever his name was. So that's that theory there. For the final theory from Incarnate, this one is actually a rather simple question. What is the demon's current name? Like, there is one scene where the demon actually spouts off like a bunch of names that it's had, and most recent one being Desari. But what if Desari isn't its current name? Because in the movie, our main character, I don't remember his name. Shoot, I only watched it like 2 nights ago. He refers to the demon as Maggie because it was a lady named Maggie that ended up killing his wife and child in a car accident, leaving him the only one alive. Like, I don't understand why she would leave him alive to torture the ones he loved when she just killed the ones he loved. But yeah, so it's a rather simple question. I don't think I'm ever going to get an answer on that one though. So I'm going to just leave the video there. Anyway, links in the description to my YouTube page and my Twitter page will be down below, along with a link to Amino for you guys to check out. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more videos. And leave a like if you are going to be celebrating Halloween. And also, Comments down below, what's your Halloween costume going to be? Although, technically this will come out after Halloween because it's slow upload. So, what was your Halloween costume? Would be the more appropriate question. I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.